Hey there, I'm George Toby, photographer, filmmaker, entrepreneur, and fellow creative to many of you, and welcome to Coffee and Creatives. This podcast is for coffee drinkers and creative thinkers, those who love to enjoy a good cup of coffee as well as great conversation. Each week, I sit down with artists, entrepreneurs, and makers to talk about the real creative process, what inspires them, what challenges them, and what keeps them going. So if you're into creativity, coffee, and honest conversation, come and hang out with us on Coffee and Creatives. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for joining us here on Coffee and Creatives. We are going to dive into it like we do every single week and introduce our next guest for this week, which we have another fantastic couple joining us today, which is Jaden and Kara. Why did I completely just blanked on your last name?
It's okay. It's our creative last name is Mongo.
Yeah.
But my real last name is Mongol.
Mungle.
So
Mongo.
everyone always calls us Mongo.
Yeah.
But why does your Facebook say Harrison?
That's because my dad set that up. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Very confusing.
Okay.
But that was when I was young. But
Because, Kara, what's your last name again? Like your
My maiden name is Kite.
right.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I should know that.
Yeah.
For those
That's
watching,
okay.
Kara and I went to high school together. So
yeah.
we're going to dive into it. So, I mean, thank you guys for being on the podcast today. I definitely appreciate it. And we're going to have some great conversation. So to kick things off, I always ask everybody the same question. And it's 3 questions. So it's, even though I kind of just gave it away, but let me know who you are, and then you can each do this. So who you are, what you do. And typically I ask people their perspective into their relationship with me, but because you guys are married, I'm going to ask the third question being, what's your perspective into your relationship with your spouse?
Wow, that's a deep question. That's
It's
good.
deep,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question again.
yeah. So who you are, what you do, and then your perspective into the relationship with your spouse.
Well, I'm Jaden Mongol. We're from JK Mongo on our socials. What I do is I am a personal trainer, but during the day we make content. We make lifestyle Christian content, and my perspective in our relationship is that I married the love of my life, and it's been 3 years in November that we're going to be celebrating this year. So super excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I'm doing my master's in clinical mental health counseling. Taking a little bit of a break from that right now to work more on creative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's on my agenda to finish in the next coming years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm Kara. And yeah, what was the next question? Sorry.
What you
so
do.
who you
are, what
okay.
you do, and then your perspective.
So yeah, I'm Kara, and I also do social media with Jaden. So we do like content creation, during the day, and then I also do social media management for like different brands and companies on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then my perspective is, I don't know, I guess just grateful that I met, like you said, the love of my life at such a young age and was able to get married and now like have the rest of our lives to just spend together, and also work together is really fun to like actually be able to like spend so much time together and love what we do. So
yeah, that's amazing. That's a great answer, I would say. So how did your guys' journey, whether it started together or separately, but how did it start in terms of a lot of the faith-based content that you guys make? Did you start that like together or separately, or like did you both always have a vision of doing that at some point in your lives from like a younger age? Or
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I'll start with this one where during COVID 2020, I downloaded TikTok like everyone else. I have a big family, 6 sisters, so it quickly gained a lot of traction on social media. I grew an account. This is just my personal account to like 200,000 plus followers. And it was just for fun content. But while I was doing my bachelor's in science and psychology, I kind of felt I needed to give it away. It was really a selfish platform where I was looking for I was looking for appreciation and love from other people rather than Christ, and I felt led to give it away. So I gave that account away. It was pretty hard. A lot of hours went into that, creating that account. And then I focused more on myself. I focused more on my relationship with Christ, focused more on what I'm passionate about. And at that time it was psychology and pursuing counseling. And then that's when I met Kara. And yeah. Do you want to share how we went together?
Yeah, it kind of started when we got married. We like got married and then a week later moved to Australia. And when we did that, we were like, I don't know, we just kind of wanted to start a TikTok just to kind of make fun videos together, something to do together while we were there, because we had so much time, and also just to like document our time together there.
I'm just going to interject for 1 second. So getting married and then a week later moving to Australia, what was that season of life like?
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely, we were young guns. We were 22 at the time. Yeah. I just finished school and we were just like, let's go on a working holiday visa to Australia, because why not?
I mean, why not? When you're young, right? Like travel when you can, right?
We had no responsibilities, like life responsibilities, and Australia offers, for everyone watching, a whole year working visa where you can work there and live and get a job and experience another life, another culture, which we highly recommend. But we got to do that together. And so we kind of it was just a spontaneous thing that we did.
That's awesome though.
Yeah. And so when we were there, it was like, I don't know, we honestly like didn't know anyone. We didn't like know anything. So we were kind of just like, let's just do TikTok. And Jaden was still passionate about like creating content. And I had always like had an interest for it as well. I think I just needed like someone to push me into it. And so then when we were there, it was like something we felt to just like start, and just kind of for fun at first, but then it took us into like a direction of more like, we kind of had, I guess, maybe a bit of a perspective shift, and like made it a bit where like, okay, this could actually be like a ministry as well. At one point. And so then we kind of just like took that and ran with it. And
like when you come to a point when you start creating on social media, like on TikTok mainly, and Instagram, but you come to a point where you post a video and you hit the lottery and you weren't expecting it. And it's like, okay, people are interested in what I'm posting. This was something authentic and real. People are commenting. Like, I've never had someone comment before that I don't know. And you start to realize like, hey, people actually care about, what I do, or care about my perspective on something. And so you post one and then next week you post another and it's like, okay, 50,000 views. Wow. 50,000 people, or like, and then 300 comments, like 300 people I don't know. If 300 people are in this room, talking to me, that's massive. And so you start to realize like there's definitely a broader reach with social media. And there's pros and cons on social media with negative people and negative perspective. But what we do is we do Christian content that's lifestyle and couple based, and we try to give hope and show people, hey, you can have a healthy, strong relationship when you put Christ first. And so we started to get 50,000 views, 100,000 views, some weeks 20 views, 100 views. You have those ups and downs, and still currently you have ups and downs, but then you get your first brand deal and it's like, oh, whoa. Someone's going to pay me to promote a product.
To talk about something.
So those are all little things that help get you to the point where, hey, I can do this part-time. So unfortunately in Canada, there's no creative fund for TikTok and Instagram. So we don't get paid for our views on social media. We get paid through products or brand deals. But it's never really been about the money for us. It's about seeing all the comments and DMs that we get of people, receiving, and just so grateful that they feel different. They felt something, and there's so much gratitude for seeing people actually, have genuine love together. That's not fake, but they can see like the Holy Spirit presence in our relationship. And we get those comments and DMs quite a bit, and that's what motivates us to
Yeah.
continue.
And what's that creative process like being married? Like that process of like creating content that, you know, you're kind of balancing the line of, yes, we want this to be quote unquote viral and make money because it's your source of income, but also staying on the boundaries of not allowing your egos and stuff to get too high with all the comments and views and likes and everything. So what's that balance like when you guys are working together and kind of in the process of creating content?
Yeah, honestly, like it is a really hard balance.
Yeah.
And it's something that we have been working on, like, I don't know, like throughout the whole time, but especially more as we've grown and just like made it even like a bigger part of our life. Because yeah, it can be tricky, but I think like honestly doing it together makes such a like it's so much more helpful just because we have each other to like bounce things off of and like to hold each other like accountable to making sure that, you know, we're keeping it like with God at the center, and not trying to let it get like too much about like the views or even about the money, things like that. And then just like bring us down to earth when like, yeah, we're focused too much on like worldly things and trying to then keep it more about God. So I actually think it's so much easier to do together. I mean, it can be hard if we're both like, you know, on different pages, but just having someone to like understand, relate, and like just completely just understand is like so helpful.
It's like having a coworker that you're related to. If anyone has ever worked with someone that are related to, you can tell how difficult it is sometimes, but also how amazing it is. There's a level of trust and understanding that this person's not going to betray me. This person's only is working for me. But then there's also frustration because it's like, I know you, like, why are you acting like this? Right. Or I know you're better. So like, and I would say when it comes to obstacles, working with your spouse, there's a lot of time we spend in prayer. A lot of time we've had to create meetings together and make it more of a job in a way where it's like we have to have those meetings, we have to have those discussions, we have to talk about finances, we have to talk about analytics and have more sit down formal meetings rather than just sitting on the couch and say, oh, this did well, oh, this did well.
More having that like formal set aside time that's like, hey, this is specifically for business talk and conversation.
And it's like this is business, and like emotions aside, like let's talk about business, and then later we can talk about emotions and we can talk about how we're feeling, where we're at together in this creative aspect, and where we're at and how we're feeling. The past month we've been working a lot on comparing with other creators, with other people in the space, and it's just like, because we're Canadian and we feel like we're at a disadvantage. And I know we're going to talk a little bit more about being Canadian in this creative space, but there's some ups and downs when it comes to being Canadian.
It definitely takes a big, just like you said, a difference, right? Like there's just not that same level of content creation in Canada as you see in the States. There's a couple of like big YouTubers that are from Canada, but there's not too many. When you were kind of talking about the struggles of kind of working together, how do you guys go about like disagreement and go about like those times where you're maybe on different pages and you're trying to figure out how to get on the same page with when it comes to like creating content and stuff?
I would say that we have a pretty strong mission statement, so we actually don't disagree on what we put out. Everything really flows. Now, sometimes, like yesterday, I was going to post about the Jays game, and Kara's like, like we have quite a bit of American base, and they're not really going to understand, like that we're going
niche.
to it's very niche and doesn't relate to our topic. So it might not be as well received. And so we have conversations like that. But since we have our mission statement where we're just trying to make content that glorifies God, but also helps people in this world realize that you can have a strong relationship, a long-lasting relationship, because there's a lot of short-term relationships out there. but a long-lasting relationship with Christ at the center. So a lot of our content has to revolve around that, whether it's showing our personality on the camera or just videos of us praying. So I would say, what would you say? I don't think we disagree that often.
I don't think we disagree. No, like I think the biggest like disagreement would be more like you're a lot more of like the business, like he takes over because that kind of stuff stresses me out more so he's really good at like being behind that and like a lot of the even like idea creation and stuff like that, just because I get overwhelmed with a lot of that. But then so sometimes it would just be more like not a disagreement, but more so like, okay, so then I would be kind of the voice of reason being like, okay, so how does this relate to our page? Like, does this align with our mission statement? And then we would like have more of a conversation than anything, like than an argument or like, it doesn't usually lead to that, but
that's
good.
So. And how do you navigate like authenticity and then dealing with like popular trends? Because I definitely see in social media, there's a lot of, even myself, like dealing with like wedding videography and photography stuff, and like I balancing like there's a lot of trends in like photography that I will never jump on the train of because I just like can't stand it.
Yeah.
But I feel like for you guys, when you're kind of like you're keeping that authenticity of faith base, it's a little more difficult because there is so much secular worldly stuff that are typically tends to lead to the trend side. So how do you kind of balance what that line is like to like, well, what trends do we kind of jump on the train with, but which ones do we not, right?
I mean, if anyone is on Couple Talk, on the couple side of TikTok, they know that there are a lot of trends for couples to do. Tons of trends. There's so many. And the problem with trends is they're great. You will get the views if you follow the trends. And if that's all you do, that's like you will gain traction.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, at what cost? So one thing we've been really trying to focus on is trying to create a community rather than having just a lot of views and a lot of followers. Because having a real community who trusts you and understands you is very, very important. And we don't hop on every trend. We try to do the ones where we'll take a trend and then we'll change it a bit with our message involved. Right. So we'll change it a bit to involve Christ or involve some sort of marriage advice in there. So that's basically how we navigate trends. And then when it comes to our authentic videos, there's people who will take them and use them, and we're okay with that. Actually, we like people taking and using something that maybe we've created and putting it out there, because what we create is from the heart of God, and we put a lot of attention, especially our creative side. It's involving Christ in there. So we want people to take that and pray for other people or make couple content that glorifies God. There's a lot of people who might disagree and like, this is my stuff. Like, why are you copying it? Or why? There's a lot of people who copy people on social media. And it's not all that bad.
I mean, that's kind of what a trend is, right? It's like taking someone's idea and then like making it your own or like doing it the same, but like sometimes putting your own twist on it. And that's like you said, what we try to do with like, or add like a Christian vibe to it or something that glorifies God or something relatable. And trying to stick within our like our niche and our like main mission is the main thing.
We talked about pillars that we have when it comes to our content. And so when we think of a video, it's like, does it hit this type of pillar? Is it does it hit this type of pillar? Does it relate to what we normally do? Is it out of context? So we make sure we hit those pillars.
That's kind of like perfect what you're saying about the pillars that you have, because I was just going to ask, like, what is your typical like process when creating content, like from start to be like, okay, we're going to make a video about this to the end? What does that like process look like? Especially as a couple, right? Balancing off each other.
We kind of we know what works for views, but also we know what people receive. So we like to do our prayer videos a lot. We love praying for couples. We love praying for God's hand because we are a firm believer in prayer. Prayers really set us up in our relationship and has really helped grow our relationship. So we have a lot of prayer videos that we try to put out twice a month. And then
But we don't really have like, I wouldn't say like a schedule necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried in the past, like honestly our creation process has changed so much as like over time that we've been creating together. Like in
Yeah.
Australia, we definitely just kind of did random stuff and posted it, and
Yeah, we
that was
just
kind of the
dumped.
vibe.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, like this is fun, let's do this.
Yeah.
And like, and yeah, then we had like certain things that worked. Like we started with just doing like get ready for church with us videos, and like those were doing well. People like to see those, and then we just kept doing those. And then, you know, sometimes you have to shift like the what you're posting because trends shift, like everything shifts.
Yeah.
And then so now I would say we like kind of look for inspiration and then like brainstorm together different like content that we want to put out, like kind of what we think is going to work, what might not work, and then just like go from there and like have a few videos ideas for the day that we're like, okay, we're going to try and film these today, get these ones out today, have these ones for the week kind of thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is, yeah, I mean, again, Jaden does a lot of the like business side of it, like as far as like idea creation, I would say Jaden's like the head of a lot of it.
I've had a lot of moments where I'm just chilling and I'm thinking and I'm talking to God, or I'm just thinking and an idea comes. I'm like, Hera, like we got to do this.
Yeah.
Like we have a video that we're about to put out. I saw like some things. I'm not really going to give it out. Actually, I'll give it out. There's a trend where it's like these girls, like mothers, are talking about how if they count their husband down from 3, he's going to show up. You know, because if he doesn't come, he's working. It's like 3, 2, 1. If you count down from, you know, when you're a kid, your mother would do that.
Yeah.
So if you do that to your husband, he's gonna come. So we have an idea where we're gonna be doing that.
Yeah.
And we actually filmed it. And Kara did it, and it was so funny. So we're gonna be putting that one out. But
yeah, that's exciting.
And ideas just come. And we just try to roll with it. Like you gotta be real. People love authenticity on TikTok. They can tell when things are planned.
Yeah, which people don't get very often nowadays. Most stuff, I mean, people start posting all their like behind the scenes and like what it looks like before, and you don't see that authenticity anymore, which makes it difficult, I think, for people to actually enjoy content. So I think they like when they're seeing, especially the way that the world is right now with being such a social media faced, and the typical side of things being that social media is quote unquote fake, you know, everybody's just posting their best thing that they've edited the best of their abilities. So to see that authenticity come through, I think is what draws people in. What kind of impact or response have you seen from your audience through your content? What's like your biggest impact or response you've seen from people as you're creating, like we were talking about, that more authentic side, that this is real, you know?
Can I share that Walmart story?
Sure.
Yeah. So we went to Myrtle Beach on vacation, and we came back, and our cat peed on our brand new couch.
Oh.
So we came back. we came back at like 10:30 p.m. and we come back to a smelly apartment. It was horrible. But man, God turned things around for good.
Yeah. It was all
just
for
wait.
purpose.
So then we go to Walmart at really, really late, and we walking in with such a mean, upset attitude.
Storming
just
Walmart,
came from a flight to a smelly house.
Yeah.
To get some spray to spray on the couch, some enzyme breaking down spray.
Yeah.
Go in. No one's at this Walmart. Okay. Maybe 1 or 2 employees. They're about to close. We're walking to the cat area. And I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn, and this guy, he's like, "Hey, are you guys JK Mongo?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "Oh man, I love your guys' content. Like this is so crazy that you guys are here."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "I'm from Atlanta." I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing if anyone doesn't know, we live in the KW area.
Yeah.
What are you doing in St. Jacobs?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm here for a wedding." And so, yeah. And then he's like, "Hey, like, I just really love you guys' content. Really appreciate the stuff that you guys put out. Is it possible if you can like just pray? Because we pray a lot on our page. So people know that we pray.
Yeah.
And this is kind of answering that question. He's like, hey, like, can you pray for my family? I want them to come to know Christ. I'm like the only believer in my family. And I'm like, yeah, man, let's pray. And he's like, now? I'm like, yeah, let's pray now in Walmart. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, this is Christianity. I'm not going to hide and forget about, you know, praying. So
yeah.
we went into the aisle, started praying, and he was pretty nervous, which is great. And I thought he was shaking a bit, and I thought he was going to like, you know, manifest or something at that moment. But no, he was great. He was great. He was just a little nervous, I think. But praying, and then, of course, an employee at Walmart shows up in the aisle. This is a big Walmart, like in the middle, like right before they close. Anyways, we prayed. It was great. So to answer your question, it's just people know that like prayer is very powerful just from the content we put out and what we believe and the fruits of what we say in our own relationship. And so being able to pray for someone who lives in Atlanta, watches our content, somehow ends up where like near St. Jacobs, like it was crazy. Yeah. So
that's definitely an interaction that you're just like, that's a crazy one to have. So you were talking about the idea of creating more of a community with like your content and all of that. What is that like? Like explain a little more about what like your vision and your passion kind of is for that, because I think that is like a fantastic idea. I love that idea of like, hey, we're not just here to continually reach people and get more views and more views, but to start a community. Because one thing that I really love, and hopefully we'll have this person on the podcast, is a YouTuber that is also local in this area, that is relatively large on YouTube, that I do editing for, and I'm hoping to have her on. But one of the things that I've seen from her is it's a very large community. If you go and look at her Instagram content and her YouTube and everything, it's the same people commenting again, interacting with each other, and it's like you said, a community. So what does that kind of like look like in terms of like what your mission and what your like passion for that is?
Yeah, I would say it's awesome. For those who are supporting every video that we put out, commenting, we see you. We actually, you know, we look at the comments and we kind of recognize some names and faces. But creating a community is just so much more, because you don't look at everything as numbers. You look at them as people.
Yeah.
And it can be so hard. It can be difficult as a creator to just view people, genuine people who are behind the screen, as just numbers. But when you curate a community, it just feels so much better. I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like it also helps bring you back to like reality and like, like you said, like the online space, it is behind a screen. So you're not seeing these people face to face, but they are real people. Like most of them, unless they're bots or something, but most of them are real. So it's like, and I mean, something that we've also talked about, I think a lot, is just like, I don't know, if a video maybe doesn't perform as well as we expected, or like we don't feel like it reaches many people as we were hoping, but then we're like, okay, well, even if it had like 3 comments of people being like, thank you so much, or like it's a prayer video and we're like, amen, like I really needed to see this or something, and it's like, even if it was just one person, like I just like the idea of like that Jesus went for the one, like he left the 99 for the one. So it's like we can like if we can reach one person, that's just like, it's so much more valuable, and just to know that is just, it's
that's where Kara helps me, because sometimes I fail to see that side, and I'm like, oh man, like this did not perform. I was really expecting this to perform. And then Kara's will like, it's amazing to have your wife as your employee, as a employee, not my employee. We work together, we're equals, but where she can bring me back to reality and be like, hey, like, did you see this one person comment? They really needed to hear this. And so creating a community is so important.
How do you approach growth, like, and balancing the side of growth and strategy with that mindset also of like remembering that, hey, like this is our livelihood, like this is how we make our money, but also the side of sticking to your values? Like, what does that kind of like approach look like? Because I know it's not easy, right?
No,
Because
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
balancing that side of, okay, we want to have growth, because that's kind of the whole point of
Mhm.
being in that social media kind of content creation, is growth needs to
Mhm.
happen,
Mhm.
but also we need to stick to our core values, right? So what
Yeah.
does that kind of balance look like?
A lot of trust in God,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
that's why we have other jobs, not
Mhm.
just the content creation side, because we have bills to pay.
Yep.
Like some people who don't know that we're Canadian, they just see a creator with quite a bit of followers and think they have everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that's far from the truth. We have had a lot of brands turn us down because once they see our address and see that we're Canadian, they're like, "Oh, we can't work with you."
Yeah.
And it sucks. It really
Yeah,
does
for
suck,
sure.
because it's like, oh man, like we could have really used that money for just our livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely really hard. But again, like I said, it's a lot of trust in God, a lot of
Yeah.
trust in each other. And I remember this one saying where it's like, when you're slow to the top, when you're slow to rising numbers, that's when people are gonna come, are gonna stay,
Mm-hmm.
because they've been with you through the process.
Yeah.
When people are quick to fame, they're also quick to fall.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I'm not saying that we're going for fame, but we are going for high numbers. Like, we can't lie. Like, we want to achieve much, because higher numbers means more of a message that we're putting out to the right people,
Yeah.
to people. But the quicker people rise, the harder they fall, because no one has been with you with the process.
Mm-hmm.
So having people follow us during the process, one day when we have kids, to see us go into, they've seen us as a young couple at 22 going into having kids, they're going to be with us through the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so much more valuable
Yeah.
than someone just posting 10 videos that all hit 10 million plus views for doing a silly dance. They have all these high numbers, like 1 million followers, but now that when they post like 10,000 views or 5,000 views, because they were just quick to the top, they were just hot for 1 second. So it's just being patient and a lot of trust in God.
Yeah.
And it is hard, but
yeah, for sure.
it's part of the job, right?
Yeah. And what advice would you have for other couples who are looking to get into that same area of content creation together?
Yeah,
whether it's couples who want to do it faith-based or not,
Mhm.
but just the idea of content creation as a couple together. What advice would you have for somebody?
Yeah, let's take this into Canadians, because
Mm-hmm.
we are really passionate about trying to get Canadians to put out content on social media.
Mhm.
Not everyone needs to be a content creator, but can you say that question one more time? So
So just kind of like, what advice would you have for somebody who is like maybe a couple who are interested in like, hey, we love content, we're creative people, like who want to start making
Mhm.
like content together?
it's gonna take some time. Your first few videos are gonna suck, and that's okay. Those videos,
Yeah.
if you the same videos that you put out when you first start, if you put those same videos out when you have a following base, they're gonna do a lot better. So the video itself might not actually suck. It's just you're just
Yeah.
starting. So the
Mhm.
biggest thing is consistency and starting. You have anything?
I think if you have the passion for it and you have the like you said, like if they want to create content, then that's the first step. So it's
Yeah.
like just taking that passion and just putting it into like creating your own ideas. I think like since it's a lot of trends out there. There's a lot of like you see the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
So if you are able to like create your own content and just be more creative with it, be more and like authentic as well. I think that's like the best thing you can do nowadays with such a saturated like TikTok and Instagram feeds. Like everything is just the same. You just see the same things over and over again.
You just need to start.
But
You just
Yeah,
need to
just
start. And
I feel like everyone says that too. It's
Yeah.
like you just have to start posting.
everyone says that, but it's the first thing.
It's the most effective.
It's the
like
most effective.
back a couple episodes we talked about creating daily habits, and that's one of those things. Is if you want to start something like that, it's a daily habit you create, whether you're posting it or not. It's
Yeah.
starting the creating and
Mhm.
starting the process, so that when you are ready to post, you're already
Yeah.
in a habit of doing it day
Yeah.
in and day out
Yeah.
every day.
And when it comes to Canadians, we lack this a lot. We put a poll on our social media because we have quite a few Canadians, and we
Mhm.
asked them, why do you think there's not a lot of Christian content creators in that TikTok, Instagram space?
Mhm.
And we're talking short form content,
Yeah.
not YouTube. There's tons
Yeah.
of Canadian YouTubers, but they're like, because they're afraid of persecution, they're afraid of what people are going to think. Like, these are just actual people who have their
Yeah.
opinion on that. And that was a common theme.
Yeah.
But we just want to say, like, yes, America, they're strong. There's a lot of Christians in America, but Canada needs Christian content creators too.
Yeah,
Like, Canada
100%.
needs people to be vocal about their faith, vocal, because when it has a ripple effect, everyone knows now that we're Christian content creators in this space, in this region where we live. But imagine if you start creating content. Not everyone needs to be a content creator, but they can post about Christian stuff.
Yeah.
And now, like, I think some of our stuff gets censored, just being in Canada. But that shouldn't stop people from putting out Christian content. And so, yeah, if you're a Canadian out there and you've thought about making Christian content, just do it.
Yeah.
Take away that fear and take away that anxiety about what people think, because it will go away and you'll become stronger when you do start to post content. So post the content, please. And we also want to work with you. So there's a lot of Christian content creators in America who work with each other, because building a team is easier with other people, other creative people. We have a hard time finding creatives in that TikTok, Instagram space with a similar niche. So we want to work with you. Even if you have very few followers, we want to work with you. It doesn't matter. We want to get that message out. So just start, please.
Yeah, that's
please.
good.
Yes.
And before we wrap things up, you guys have something that's coming out soon. Do you want to chat on that a little bit?
Yeah, we have a Christian card game for couples called Love Has No End. It's a deck of questions built to strengthen a Christ-centered relationship. So let's say if I were to pull a card out and ask it to Kara.
Do a quick little live.
One. Let me pick a good card. Let me pick a good card.
Like, you give me a good one.
You don't need to answer in front of everyone, but what's the danger of pride in our relationship? So that's like an example of a question.
Yeah.
How can pride affect our relationship? These are more
That's a good question.
These are questions that will
Yeah.
build. They're not just simple questions. These
Yeah.
are questions that will actually build your Christ-centered relationship. On the back here, it says Christ-centered relationships for a reason. That's one of our pillars and statements that we want couples to have. And this is something you can bring with you in your purse, in the car, to just have those conversations. We know that some of the craziest conversations we've had was on long drives. So having questions to start up those conversations instead of doom scrolling or talking or gossiping in the car. Definitely grab your hands on this. This will be available hopefully in January. We're still in the process of putting them out, but we'll let you guys know when they're available.
Any couple who needs to get into a deep conversation, just go on a 5-hour drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it'll just come out.
So
Yeah.
That's
for
fantastic.
sure.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the podcast this week.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
we will definitely share this when it all gets launched. We hope it all goes well. And thank you guys again. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. This
thank
was great.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us this week, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for joining us today on Coffee and Creatives. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.